Hey everybody. So I just saw a wonderful little video by a female autistic creator where she basically says something that I kind of knew below, but I hadn't actually pieced it together in that way until somebody put it all in order for me. Dating is hard already for neurotypical people and even neurodivergent people, but for specifically autistic people, it's fucking egregious. And it can be particularly worse for autistic men, and I'm using her words here, not mine, because if you don't follow the social script properly, pick up on social cues, which autistic people have a unbelievably difficult time doing, you're labeled as a monster. And people, and since so many people, again using her words here, have no empathy for autistic people, they just call you a monster and move on with their day without any nuance to the situation. Now, that is all well and good, but I think this society, our society in America, could be solved with, and how do I get to this? Her point in the video is that everybody wants to, wants to someone that they can love and that loves them and that they can fuck and can fuck them. I think that is perfectly a reasonable thing. Now, not everybody has the speaking to my ace community here, not everybody has that need, and that's fine. But even if I am overly generous with the population of ace people, at least in this country, 95% of the people that live here, want to fuck or fuck somebody. And it's part of the reason why, I think I've always kind of been an advocate in my heart of hearts for prostitution. The independent contractor kind of thing, where it's you either have brothels that have women who are employees, yes, but there are requirements and stuff in that regard. There's people to protect them. There's it's all kind of regimented and safe, like Australia. And the reason why I'm for legalized prostitution and truly of a highly regulated form, not a laissez-faire or a capitalist which is rife for abuse. And the reason I'm for that is simply because some people are the people who are already doing that shouldn't be demonized and criminalized, and bringing it into the light will make those women safer. It'll stop human trafficking, and it'll make it easy, and it'll make it harder for criminals to do that stuff in a way. Because when you legalize something that was prohibit something, and we know this because we experience it in this country with prohibition and the war on drugs, it does nothing except A, make the product in question more expensive. It increases crime because those are the only people who can supply it, and D, it makes it never puts into prison people who are. It always only puts in prison people who are just trying to get by. The fact of the matter is that men deserve, people with male genitalia deserve to get their rocks off. People with female genitalia deserve to get their back blown out. It's a very human instinct to want to not only get sex, but feel safe with somebody in that regard. And this is a society that, the rules for dating are constantly changing, and they're always constant, and they're different depending on who you're talking to and which community you're a part of. I think that I've and this is just my personal experience. This is anecdotal, so this is not anything truly pertinent here. I have met men that, honest to God, if they just like fucked someone, regardless of their like sexual orientation, like they just be better people. Like they're just pent up and repressed, and it's just like, I'm just like, bro, go rub one out, chill the fuck out, fucking hell. And you know, there's women like that too. You know, at the end of the day, it's like, I don't like when incels say dumb shit like, you know, they slut shame women for being, you know, flirtatious, and then they demand that women have to sleep with them. Like, you know, these men and the women and their female incel counterparts are not the most well-adjusted, or I would even say intelligent people in society. Like from a social perspective, and I don't respect them. I empathize and I feel bad for them, but I do think that if prostitution was legal and, you know, it was, you know, that was a thing, we would have less of a fucking issue. Like, the people like that wouldn't exist, and they would just be boring, awful conservatives. You know, in this like male rights bullshit wouldn't be so much of their personality. Not to say that like the men's rights people, you know, they have some overlap with contemporary like third wave feminist ideology. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, it's like this conservative notion of men should fuck as much as they want, as much as they can, and women should fuck as little as they can, is so counterintuitive and so damaging that I think that at the end of the day, and also like this will they, won't they, you know, subliminal pickup, like, I'm neurodivergent my damn self, and I do personally feel that I have a hard time picking up on certain cues. God knows how I'm in a long-term relationship with the most wonderful woman I've ever known, but regardless, my point is just, we need to have more empathy for people in the autistic community, and be more cognizant of that. B, we need to decriminalize, at the very least, decriminalize women's bodies and let them do whatever they want with them. And third, we need to start being less vapid and unclear when not even just with dating, but with just society in general, being able to and express what you're thinking directly within the situation. I think doing those three things, I think that's those three things are kind of the point I think of this 10-minute podcast at this point. Yeah. Regardless, thank you guys so much for listening. I appreciate your listenership, bunches and bunches. Big thanks to my patrons, PT Sean, or Sean Bracey in this case. Big thanks to Mr. Tobias of Tantalus, or otherwise known as Monsieur Reed Savage. Big thanks to Mike Nicely. Big thanks to Anthony Lopez, and big thanks to you, the listener, for listening all the way to the end. I love your faces, and I'll see you guys very soon.